In an earlier video I made this shirt and I have made two more after that. This one, this is the same fabric in the sleeves and other parts, but I made long sleeves for this one, and also the t-shirt parts, the shape was such that I couldn't get entire front and back pieces, so I have here the other fabric also on the sides, and I think it actually looks nicer than the original one. But the problem with this one is that the sleeves, well, they seemed fine at first, but they were really a bit too short, so I made a third one, this, and here I have a bit longer sleeves. So this is the perfect version, sort of pattern wise. So now the pattern is perfect, the pattern with which I made this one. So now I can make as many shirts as I want, and the pattern doesn't need any adjustments anymore. And the interesting thing is that this one took almost an entire weekend to make because I was using my sewing machine. The stitch for stretchy fabrics in that is really slow and it's difficult to use. And also this was the first version. That always takes more time. So this one I made at school before Christmas. This took about 3 hours to make. I had an overlock machine I could use at school, so that made things a lot faster. And then I bought an overlock machine for myself, and that's what I used for this, and this was even faster, I think a couple of hours. So what I'm going to do now is try and see how much time it actually takes to sew all this together. I have pieces for a fourth shirt all cut there, and I'm going to sew this shirt in real time, in the sense that I'm not going to edit that clip. It's going to be from start to finish sewing this shirt and nothing edited out. So we'll see how that will go. So this is my new machine, overlock sewing machine. It's M0114D, and well, it was expensive. Not quite as expensive as it could have been because it was discounted about 25%, so that was nice. Okay, I have here the front and the sides. I have clipped them here just so I don't need to try to figure out which side is which, because it's easier when you just clip these in place, so then you can just start. Let's see, I'm using black thread because, well, this is black. The sleeves will be all orange, but it's still going to be black thread because that's all I've got at the moment. I'm going to buy some other colors once I found a good place where I can get them at decent prices. So the first thing is to sew these side pieces in the front. the edges and do not stretch the fabric. And this shirt is from the 90s. Scissors here. Haven't used it much because, well, it was too small to begin with. I think they didn't have any larger sizes, so I just decided to take my chances and bought the biggest one they had, and it has always been too tight. So the good thing is that the fabric is in very good condition because this hasn't been washed maybe once or twice in over 20 years. It's just been in the wardrobe waiting for something. I liked it, the pictures, and I just didn't want to throw it away, even though I couldn't use it. And that's how I got some really old t-shirts. Like the Moonspell t-shirts. That was used so much that the back there were holes because it was so worn. So that I had been using a lot, but the front was still okay. So I made the best. Yeah, and this, let's see, I'll show you this. This is, well, my kind of humor. Not sure how appropriate this shirt is at the moment. Like, well, can't say it's too soon, 1347, 1351, but in the current situation, maybe too black humor, but I'm making this, and oh, we'll see when I'm going to use this. And this is the back part. There's the list, the same way as band shirts have the tour dates. No dates here, but list of places. So then we attach the back into these side pieces. Okay, here. This pattern turned out to be really good, and after I made the alterations, like as you can see, the sleeves. The problem I have with shirts is that usually when I buy a long sleeved shirt, the sleeves are too long. And now I have a pattern I can use to make perfect long sleeved shirts for myself. And of course there's several sizes in that original pattern, so if I need to make a shirt for someone else, I already know what to do with the pattern if I copy another size. Okay, and then the other side. I'm starting from the hem because it's easier to just get the pieces aligned correctly if you start from the top. Then you need to check the pattern and see where this upper part is supposed to go in this back piece, and especially in this one the top corner isn't easy to see because this shirt was a bit difficult to cut the front and back in the correct shape. But it's close enough. And anyway, this is cutting a bit off the edge. So it's gonna be straight enough. Even if it is a bit curved here, but it shouldn't matter. Okay, so these are all sewn together, and we'll leave it the wrong side out. And then the sleeves, and here I have marked, this is front, and then I have clipped these so that I have the right sides together, and then just sewing this sleeve seam. And here I'm starting from the armpit end of the sleeve. It should align also in the other end, but in case it doesn't, it's better to have this part aligned. These seams, you shouldn't stretch the fabric. Well, I think I need to stretch it a bit here because yeah, there's a minor difference. Well, I'm not going to stretch it, I'm just going to. This will be even when I sew this cuff part in place. Okay, that's one sleeve. Oh. This machine didn't come with the sloping part that would guide these away, so this is a what is it? Cover lid of a plastic container. It fits here, so I'm using it for this purpose. And the reason I have the fronts marked is that they're a bit different, and it can get confusing if you mix up the sleeves. So it's best to have the front marked, so when you start combining these pieces. You have right sleeve on the right side and left on the left side, and not mix them up. Seam allowances, in this case they are 1 centimeter, and I think it's close enough. This looks like 7, and then when the machine cuts a bit from the edge, it gets close enough to 1 centimeter. And let's see, I need to turn this right side out, so the bodice is wrong side out and sleeve is right side out. And then these sleeves, they go to this edge. And now let's see, this is front, so this goes here. I'm going to clip this in place because you need to get it evenly. Yes, okay, let's put it in there. First, the edges here on the neckline, so it will be easier to get it evenly, and then just let's see if I clip this so that I won't stretch anything. It should go correctly all the way around. And here you can see this should be here. I think there's something wrong with this. It doesn't matter, I'm just going to sew it here, and the machine will clip this away. And let's go from the other end. Yeah, it's sort of like a bit from the other end, and then from the other side. And here, if this is if one of these is too short, you can just stretch it a little, because this is, as it goes, it's not straight. It's very easy to stretch into this shape. So now it's evenly here, and then just starting as this one is here, it's better to start from this side, because I see where this orange edge goes, and I just go along that edge and cut off any extra. It doesn't matter that there's extra, because this is a loose pattern and stretchy fabric, so minor imperfections are no problem. Oh, and now it's, well, I suppose, well, this wasn't supposed to happen. Well, we'll check how it looks on the outside. Hopefully not too bad. And then just make sure the edges are nice and flat, not like that one there. Now, why is it? Okay, that one's not flat. I can feel a bump. No, it's a seam. No problem. This curved part can be a bit tricky, but okay. And that noise you can hear there, it's going over a seam. Okay, let's check. Let's check that end. Yeah, well, that's a bit. I don't like this, but let's see. It's so close to this edge that I think I can get rid of that when I'm sewing the neckband in place. Yeah, hopefully. I don't want to cut anything I don't absolutely need to, so we'll see. I just need to be careful when I sew the neckband and go far enough from that edge that it cuts. No, it doesn't cut it away. It should be sort of, it goes inside the seam, so it won't show outside. See. Okay, and I was recording the previous clip yesterday, and then after doing that I went to get my third vaccination, and my arm isn't feeling very well today. It hurts, not too bad, but definitely hurts. There was this walk-in clinic at a sports arena. It was like you just go there and get your vaccinations, no matter if you wanted your first, second or third. Anybody, I think there was something like anybody over 12. So that was good. I hate making appointments, so just getting there and getting the vaccination was nice. Okay, now something is definitely wrong. Why does that seem? Where did it go in the other? No. What am I doing? Totally the wrong place. Yeah, this is totally the wrong place. Okay. So here, yeah, talking and just clipping these in place isn't a good idea. I'm getting confused. Yeah. this is where it's supposed to go. Okay, what was I saying? Something about the vaccinations. I don't remember anymore. I got... That thought is gone. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, it was a sports arena. So after I had gotten the vaccination, I had to wait for 10 minutes just to make sure there are no adverse reactions to that shot, and then I want to sit in the where the benches are, or sit where the audience the people who watch the game sit in those benches. Okay. Can't remember what that part of the stadium is called. Anyway, I sat there and watched a practice game of baseball. The local team was playing, one of the local teams, I think we have at least two, was playing against a team from some other part of the country, and I had no idea they would be playing when I went there, but as I was there and I had to sit there for 10 minutes, I was watching the game. I'm normally not interested. But I watched it a while and, well, it wasn't interesting, but better than being bored. Well, I did play some Animal Crossing on my mobile phone also. Okay. I'm really interested in seeing how much time this is going to take. Because that's one of the things you need to figure out if you're starting to build a business. You need to know how much time things take, so you know how much you should charge. I think something like making this sort of shirts could be, well, not sure how profitable, but, well, more profitable than some of the things that they take huge amounts of time. Okay, now we have sides and sleeves in place, and the next part is, I have here these. This is the neckband, and this is the right side, so I'm turning like this, right sides together and making sure it's not twisted, and then just sewing this. All of these bands, these are for the sleeves. It's the same thing, just sewing these ends together. Okay, the other sleeve. And then this is the waistband, and this is the right side, so turning it like this, and then it's straight and just here. And I really like this machine. It's so much faster than doing this with the sewing machine. Now let's see, where should we start? Maybe then neckband. So now this, first turning it this way and then folding it in half. Just clip this here and then clip in the opposite side, so it's same amount of fabric on both sides. And then put these together and yeah, this is the sort of thing that's a bit difficult. My fingers aren't always obeying me. So now here in halfway between these two, and then same on the other side. So you divide this into 4 equal parts. Just make sure the edges are aligned. Now, is it? It's not quite. A bit here. Okay. And then the same thing here, the neck. Let's see, you'll put first there in the middle, align the seams, and then take the middle of the front, and then it's best to do it this way. It should be the middle of the back piece, but if there's a difference between these, going just by aligning the seams and going there in the middle maybe doesn't get you the exact place, but in this case it does. And then the other ones, not the middle of this piece, but the same way as with that neckband, these together and then just here in halfway between those two. And it's the same on the other side. Here. And then this, put it this way, is the raw edge, and you put it here, and the where you place the seam, where is it? Oh, it was there. Okay, where you place the seam is really a matter of preference, but I like to put it here on the side, because if it's on you right in the back, it might rub your neck, feel uncomfortable. So putting it here on the side is probably the best solution. And then you put this the opposite side here on the opposite side. This, so you just align these
clips. Okay, last one. Just make sure all the edges are straight and aligned. These sort of fabrics, they tend to sort of roll, and just make sure the raw edge is straight, so it's going to be nice and flat. And now when I sew this, I'll just need to stretch it, so that not stretch this part, but the neckband needs to be stretched so that it goes evenly. And actually in this case, this is so long that it may be a good idea to put more of these clips. Just stretch this so they're the same length, and this looks like might not be quite even. I'll need to there. Just an additional clip there in the middle. That's gonna help divide the fabric evenly around the neck hole, if that's what it's called. I'm not quite sure, but it's, well, there's armholes, so yeah, this looks a bit uneven. I suppose it isn't. Okay, and I think I'm going to start here on this side, because I've noticed that if you leave the front last, if there's any trouble, it's gonna show in the front. So the front first, to make sure you get that neat, and then if there's something not quite right in the neck part. Oh, where was that? I need to check where was that, where the fabric wasn't quite straight. It's here. Okay, I think I'll put this as a reminder. Well, I could actually start there to, no, this is front. I was going to start from front. Okay, that clip is going to remind me that I need to make sure I can get that fold out of sight. So then you just stretch the neckband as you go, so it's the same length as the fabric underneath. And remove the clips as you go. And the reason I'm using clips is that pins, well, you could use pins if you forget to remove a pin and you just go ahead, you're going to ruin that blade. So it's best to use these clips. These are so big that you can't accidentally go over them. Okay. Yeah, and then make sure there's nothing underneath there that shouldn't be. I just thought I maybe made a mess, but no, I didn't. And so here is this little fold, and if I just put this fabric here, it should disappear. Hopefully it won't show anymore. We'll see once this is done. Almost finished, and at this stage need to just make sure all the rest of this is divided evenly. Okay. Damn it. And it's not. Yeah, this is a problem now. I can't stretch this enough. Okay, just have to loosen that. It's going. The fabric underneath is going to be a bit looser than it's in other places, but hopefully it's going to get. Yeah, this isn't going to be quite even. Yeah, that's a problem. But it'll be on the side. It's not in the most visible of places, but it's still a problem. Let's see how bad of a problem. Yeah, this isn't supposed to be there. Oh, yeah, I don't like this, but well, it is what it is. I'm not going to start fixing that because things are on. And there's another one there. Yeah, this isn't the most successful, but if I cut this away and do this again, the neck is going to be too big. So yeah, it is what it is. And part of the problem is that I'm talking all the time and my focus is divided between two things, so I may mess up a bit. That happens, but yeah. So now we're doing the same thing with the sleeves. These are much shorter, so these only need 4 clips. This blue shirt I'm wearing, this was much better. No problems like that. I just had, because, well, when I was making this I was concentrating totally on sewing, not trying to speak all the time. So it just shows you that you need to concentrate on what you're doing, and that's not the right one, and not try to do several things at the same time. Now let's check. Yeah, those are in the correct places, and then we'll take a sleeve here, and here's a seam, and here's a seam, and just like, oh, I need to first divide this also, so you start with the seam and then just divide it into 4 equal parts, and this is going to be a lot easier because that cuff part isn't that much shorter, just a centimeter or maybe 1.5, I don't remember. So just get the sleeve in there and place these the same way. Here, and then and this, the confusing part with this is the amount of these clips. There's 8 of them, and they are so close to each other that it's easy to get confused. But if you do, you'll notice it almost immediately, so it shouldn't be a problem. Here, and the last one. Here, and then just, okay. And that's not, is that even? It looks like there's more in here than in the other sections. So let's just move it a bit. Check if I stretch this. Yes, it goes even, and then I'm starting there with the seam and just doing the same thing as with the neckband. Just need to be even more careful that you don't get any of the other edges, other parts of the edge under there and messed up totally. Because that's easy to do when you have a loop that's this small. But this is much easier to stretch so that the edges are even. Okay, and almost there. And here you can, when you're removing these, you just take hold here so it'll stay stretched. Yes, this is going nicely, no problems. Check it. Here, a bit. That's not quite perfect, but good enough. Yeah. Okay, And then the next one, the same thing, just put the clips there to divide it into equal parts. And then where is that? Yeah, here. Same thing with this. Yeah, I was talking about the time this takes, and I'm not quite sure. I still have a few months left of my studies, and I have been thinking about what I'm going to do after, because I could go back to my original profession, which is being a translator. That would be the easy solution, because there's always work for translators. The only problem nowadays is that the prices are going down, and then of course there's the machine translation. So much of the translation work nowadays is cleaning up machine translations, and it's not really what I like to do. I like translating, let's see here, I like translating texts the old-fashioned way, although I don't mind translation memories. They are actually really useful, but anyway, just translating myself. Now, no, that's not the right part. Where's the seam? Oh, it's that one. Okay, now aligning these. Yeah, as you can see, talking and trying to do this at the same time is not the best of ideas, but I hope I can get this done while talking. What was I don't know, something about translations. Yeah. Oh, about whether I'm going back or not. I'm not sure. I would like to do some sewing stuff. So actually I bought this machine for the purpose of maybe going into some sort of business that is related to sewing. Not sure what. It would be nice to sew clothes, but it's not something that you get to do much nowadays. There are no garment factories in Finland, and people are so fond of fast fashion that just mending old clothes is not something that's in fashion, although it looks like maybe it's going to be at some point. But of course there's the fact that I have 10 years until retirement. I'm not going to stop. Not going to stop working when I retire, hopefully. Hopefully my health will be allowing me to continue working. What's that? There's something. Oh, I can look at that later. So that hopefully my health will allow me to continue working even after retiring, but that remains to be seen. There's 10 years to worry about that, and during these 10 years I need to figure out something to make me money, and I'd really like that something to be related to sewing. So I've started to think about that. But I have at least until the summer to figure out something. Okay. Well, that looks better. The seams are not quite aligned, but it's better this way because it's thicker where the seam is. So when they are like this side by side, here the edge is just where this seam is, so the seam allowance is here and the other seam allowance is here, so they are not on top of each other. That would make a big bump here in the seam, so it's best to make it this way. So now we have the sleeves and the neckband, which I'm not quite happy with, but it'll have to do. And the last part is the waistband, and with this shirt I don't need to check anything because I have the pattern now at correct length. It was too long to begin with, so I have adjusted, like this blue shirt. When I made it, it was longer, and then I just adjusted length. But after doing that, I adjusted pattern. So for this shirt, I had correct length in the pattern, and I can just sew this in place. That's okay, and then putting it here and finding the halfway point between these. And aligning the edges. Okay, there. And it'll be interesting to see how much time I have used making this. I didn't check the clock. I'm just going to check how long this clip is. Well, it's going to be several clips because the video camera, when it goes to 4 gigabytes, then it cuts the clip and starts a new one. So I'm just hoping there's enough room on the SD card to get this entire thing done at once. If not, I'll just need to stop for a moment and upload the clips to my computer and make more room. We'll see. So now those, and then the hem is, yeah, in this case I can go with the seam. Those are, and so the other one should also be, yes, these are exactly right. Okay, so that's 4. And where is that? Here. So now once again, here is the seam, and I'm going to put it here on the side. this, and then the other side here. Okay, and then this is front. Yeah, my fingers are definitely starting to misbehave. But I can get this done. And then I can give them some rest. So as you can see, this is quite a long bit, so doing the same as with the neckband, just stretching it and then going here in the middle, approximately in the middle. You can also, if you want, just measure these the same way as the other ones, just like folding it in half and putting the marker here and doing the same with this. That would be the accurate way, but this is also good enough. Just stretching it and clipping it there, and then the next one, and this looks like it's distributing evenly. Well, I think I said the same about the neckband and then it didn't, but we'll see. But I think the neckband, it's longer in relation to the edge of the neck hole than this waistband and the hem. So this waistband is sort of in between the neckband and the sleeve cuffs. It's not as hard as the neckband, but not as easy as the sleeve cuffs. Oh, and then I again start from the front, because the part you do first is probably going to be the neatest. And okay, and so I'm starting here, and also now the last part will be this orange side, and this orange fabric stretches more, so if there's any, if it's not, this waistband is not quite even, it can probably be fixed in this part, so it's best to leave it last. I had this machine for under a week and I'm already in love with it. It's so fantastic. I mean, my sewing machine is good, but it's nowhere near as good as this. So I think I'm going to be making a lot of things with this machine instead of the sewing machine. Okay, going to the back. isn't exactly my color, but as the print on this shirt is orange, I thought that this would be the best second color for this shirt. Okay, let's see. Yes, this is going fine. It's going to be just right. No problems. That looks good. Okay, I'll end this clip here and then I'll be showing you this shirt on the living room floor, which is more room than trying to show it here.
Here is the finished shirt, and when I stopped the recording of the previous clip, I had 2 minutes of recording time left, so that was just in time. And here you can see the shirt. I haven't tried it on yet, but it should be fine. I'm going to do that. And here is the back of the shirt, and this is really a good design because that t-shirt fabric, it's fairly stiff and thick and doesn't feel comfortable. So when you just take the front and back and then make the other parts with softer fabrics, it's much better. And also I have enough t-shirts, so I prefer making these long sleeves because I need long sleeved shirts more than short sleeved. I still have 2 shirts that will go through the same process. I've already got the fabric for the Judas Priest shirt. That's going to be dark red for the sleeves and the neckband and waistband, probably the sides as well. I mean, it's fairly small shirt. The size is L, but it's from 2005, and the size, they seem to change. Sort of size L from 20 years back is not the same as size L now. So, but I'll see when I start cutting the pieces out of this t-shirt. I'll see what kind of parts I can get from this t-shirt. And then there's the Royal Air Force Museum shirt, and the problem with that one is the same as always. The fabric is too stiff. That t-shirt is not comfortable, so it's going to become one of these at some point. And as you can see, it fits nicely. And I forgot to mention the time, how long it took to make this. It was 1 hour and 3 minutes, all the clips together. It was 6 clips because it's 9 minutes 20 seconds in one clip, and then it goes over 4 gigabytes. So yeah, I think I can do it in under an hour. This took a bit longer because I was talking, and getting sort of trying to focus on two different things, talking and sewing, and as you saw, that caused some trouble. So once I start making the next one, I'm going to concentrate just on sewing. So then we'll see the exact amount of time it takes. I'll need to just use some sort of timer to check that, but yep, 1 hour. And I suppose I'll need to also check how long it takes to cut the pieces, so sort of get an estimate on the entire time it takes to make one of these, so then I can estimate what the price would be if I made one of these for somebody else.